This place feels old. I mean old.
Even the air feels strange, doesn't it? Humanity was never meant to be here. We're not wanted.
This place is as big as a city.
Plato once said that the city is what it is because citizens are what they are. In Xeno City, the citizens have been long dead. These citizens, also called the Ancients, have long gone, but they've left in their wake empty husks of themselves, and monsters that no one could dare to face. Appearing in the first game, Alien's Dark Descent, the Xeno City is a massive underground city lost to the tides of time, but it still houses one of the fiercest monstrosities, like the Titan Xenomorph. So in this video, I'll take you through Xeno City and its denizens, but I believe it's important to explore in brief the plot of Dark Descent for a more comprehensive understanding of Xeno City. Let's begin. Before we go into our explanation, we have a very small request. If you like our content, please support us by subscribing to our channel. This is a small click for you, but for us it means a lot. Thank you. Let's begin.
Stern!
Number 1. Alien's Dark Descent. In 2198, on the moon of Lethe, the USS Otago was gearing up for a shakedown. Meanwhile, at Pioneer Station, a space vessel called the Bentonville delivers cargo, but something sinister is unleashed. Yep, no points for guessing the right answer. Deadly xenomorphs began slaughtering the crew. Furthermore, the deputy administrator named Michael Hayes noticed the cargo weight of the Bentonville is not what it's supposed to be, and asked her boss, McDonald, to detain the ship. However, he does not give two hoots to her concerns. Soon after, Hayes stumbles upon the biomechanical minions of hell in the docking bay as they broke through the doors. Soon the Bentonville took off, but McDonald and the control team got attacked and impregnated by facehuggers. Hayes barely escaped and realizes that more xenomorphs are hidden in Bentonville's remaining cargo. Seeing no other option in sight, she was forced to activate the Cerberus Protocol, a Weyland-Yutani quarantine procedure that used armed satellites and all that. This protocol leads to the destruction of both the Bentonville and a freighter, the Baldwin, with all hands lost. The Otago is left crippled. Hayes is rescued by Sergeant Jonas Harper and a squad of colonial marines, who take her to the crash-landed Otago. Harper takes charge and deputizes Hayes as his intelligence officer. Together, they lead the marines into the Dead Hills settlement, where they take down a xenomorph queen beneath the colony. While scouting the Berkeley's dock spaceport for parts to repair the Otago, they cross paths with the Darwin Era, a cult that worships xenomorphs as the next step in evolution. I'll speak about Darwin Era at length later in the video. Despite the tension, Hayes confesses to Harper that she activated the Cerberus Protocol. Harper decides to keep working with her, and they team up with Medical Officer Bookard, Xenobiologist Becker, Engineer Corrigan, Psychologist Kabiri, and Armory Head Sergeant Martinez. Together, they gather materials and personnel to keep the Otago in the fight. Harper traces the xenomorph containers to Olduvai, Lethe's main trimonite refinery, where the Marines encounter cultists who are ignored by the xenomorphs. The cult leader, Joseph Marlo, reveals he's working with Cassandra, Harper's daughter. Hayes rescues the Marines using the Otago's escape pod as a missile. Back on the Otago, Harper admits his connection to Cassandra. As xenomorphs attack, Harper falls ill, but not just that, he experiences all these painful visions. Weyland-Yutani's Director Price warns that Lethe faces nuclear sterilization. The Marines race to repair the Otago and consider Price's offer to help, in exchange for access to the ship and rescuing Cassandra from Marlo. The Marines raid the processor, steal its core, take down another queen, and recover an APC, but Harper's condition worsens. They then salvage a hypersleep gas mixer chip from the USCSS Montero, a vessel Harper once served on during a rebellion against Weyland-Yutani. A Guardian sneaks onto the Otago and tries to recruit Harper into Darwin Era. He reveals that Marlo is using Harper's daughter, Cassandra, to communicate with the xenomorphs through her telepathic link, a trait Harper shares, causing his visions and deteriorating health. Harper confronts Price, who's lost contact with the team, led by Theo Stern, searching for Cassandra in the Tantalus lab. The Marines infiltrate the lab, rescue Stern, and narrowly escape its self-destruction. They capture Marlo, who reveals Price's betrayal. She destroyed Tantalus and left Stern to die to cover her tracks. Harper kills the synth version of Marlo after realizing the real one is elsewhere, then falls unconscious. Back on the Otago, Becker, secretly working with Price to clear his debts, sabotages the ship's defenses and unleashes a xenomorph warrior from the captured Guardian. The creature kills Bookard, while Weyland-Yutani commandos storm the ship. Hayes barely fights off the mercenaries with the Ark, which is destroyed by the commandos' gunship. Becker ambushes Hayes, holding her at gunpoint, but the xenomorph kills him. Hayes then lures the creature into the reactor as it restarts, frying it and securing the ship. With Harper in critical condition and Kabiri unable to treat him without Booker, Stern and Hayes raid Pharaoh's Spire, Weyland-Yutani's headquarters on Lethe, to force Price to reveal Marlo's location. Price confesses that Marlo is hiding in an ancient alien city beneath Olduvai, where he's keeping Cassandra. Desperate, Price tries to bribe Hayes into taking her along, but Hayes, disgusted, denounces Price as less human than a synth and leaves her to her fate. As Price angrily insists she's human, Xenomorphs begin swarming the facility. As Cerberus gears up for Phase 2, Hayes, driven to make amends for her time with Weyland-Yutani, decides to raid Marlo City and rescue Cassandra. With the Otago repaired, the Marines launch a full-scale assault on the mine, taking down a queen and countless cultists. Hayes, Martinez, and Stern venture into the underground city, where they discover mummified remains of a giant worm-like alien species and large xenomorph eggs. Now, this is the Xeno City we were talking about. They also find the real Marlo's corpse, long dead from a chestburster, along with numerous non-hostile synths he created to continue his work on the Cassandra project. The group locates and frees Cassandra, but their escape is blocked by a colossal xenomorph made from one of the ancient aliens. The creature kills Stern and Martinez, cornering the women. In a final act of heroism, Harper uses the last of his strength to briefly stun the xenomorph, allowing Hayes and Cassandra to escape, sacrificing himself in the process. The remaining Marines stay behind to fend off the endless xenomorph swarm as nuclear missiles begin to fall. The Otago's shields hold as it breaks through the blockade and leaves Lethe's orbit. After mourning Harper, Hayes, Cassandra, and the surviving crew enter hypersleep as the Otago drifts into deep space.
This is gigantic.
This whole planet's a freak show.
What makes Xeno City so creepy? The Xeno City is a vast biomechanical metropolis, capable of growing its own inhabitants. It reimagines the space jockey from the original 1979 Alien film and creates a terrifying, seemingly endless landscape, infested with xenomorphs and new horrors like the Guardians and massive Xeno Titans. Hidden beneath the Olduvai dig site on Lethe, a moon deep within the United American frontier, Xeno City was first discovered by the original colonists during mining operations. They kept it secret for a time, but their mining of Trimonite, one of the rarest and hardest ores, eventually attracted Weyland-Yutani's attention. The company then annexed the moon and began their own mining, uncovering the hidden alien city. The scale of Xeno City is immense, a sprawling underground metropolis with a massive cavern. The city stretches in all directions, with multiple levels fading into the fog. Its flooring appears to be a mix of stone and metal, adorned with intricate engravings that could represent the language of its ancient inhabitants. The towers and rooms resembling the biomechanical construction of the derelict ship on LV-426, echo H.R. Giger's designs, with phallic structures and elements of the alien life cycle, along with his themes of sexuality, which is one of the dominating themes in the entire Alien universe. The rooms themselves bring to life Giger's unused concept of the egg silo from the original Alien. The city is shrouded in grays and blacks, with hints of blue lighting that may nod to James Cameron's Aliens. Among the structures, in the ovomorph rooms similar to those in the derelict ship, lie the 20-foot-tall skeletons of the city's former inhabitants. These skeletal remains are attached to walls and pillars, still gripping levers as if continuing some mysterious task, even in death. It's important to note that these are not engineer remains. Regarding the cause of death of the ancient citizens, some skeletons show no visible trauma, while others have ribcage damage consistent with xenomorph chestburster emergence. Some appear to have exploded from within. According to Sergei Kritsky's work on Aliens: Dark Descent, the ancient citizens were actually grown from and are a part of the city itself. H.R. Giger believed that the space jockey on LV-426 was integrated into the derelict's massive chair, serving as more than just a pilot, but rather the control center and brain of a living vessel. This raises the question, were these beings capable of detaching from their positions and moving about the city? If they could move, how did they do it? Did they grow less eggs, use levitation, or pull themselves along with their arms like the Xeno Titans that use them as hosts? The official origin of Xeno City remains a mystery, and further study is likely impossible now as the Cerberus Protocol was enacted in response to the Xenomorph outbreak, leading to the moon's bombardment with nuclear weapons. Original colonists spread rumors of monsters lurking beneath the Olduvai dig site, but no specific descriptions were provided. Nevertheless, both humanized xenomorphs and Titan-class ancient citizen-hosted aliens were present by the time Weyland-Yutani arrived. The Codex on the Xeno Titan speculates that larger examples may have adapted to their larger hosts, but also hints at the possibility of the moon falling victim to a rival species. The only known species capable of rivaling the space jockeys, aside from the xenomorphs, would be the engineers. While the predators are often suggested as rivals, they don't exist in the official Alien universe canon, only in the AVP crossovers. When Weyland-Yutani discovered Xeno City, they constructed the Tantalus base at and below the Olduvai dig site, a technological marvel housing a highly classified facility focused on xenobiology, xenoarchaeology, and xenotechnology. What was Marlo's role in all this? The head researcher at Tantalus Base, Joseph Marlo, was a brilliant man who gradually lost his grip on reality after receiving psychic messages from the aliens and Cassandra, a local with a powerful mental link to them. Convinced that the aliens represented the next stage of human evolution, Marlo founded a cult called the Darwin Era. He and his followers took control of Tantalus, gaining access to Xeno City and its inhabitants. From there, Marlo and his compromised cult launched a multi-pronged attack, sending Xenomorphs and alien containers to Dead Hills, a nearby colony, using the Bentonville supply ship to transport alien specimens to Pioneer Station, an orbiting company facility. Marlo also created the Guardians, cybernetically enhanced cult members implanted with chestbursters. Their augmentation slowed the chestbursters' maturation, allowing them to coexist with the aliens and even enter their hives. However, this stasis was temporary, and the chestbursters would eventually kill their hosts. Marlo's main obsession was Cassandra, whom he believed held the key to xenosynthesis, a bridge between humans and aliens. Despite his dedication, Marlo ultimately died as a host for a chestburster, but his work continued through an army of synths created in his image. One of these synths suggested that much could be learned about the ancient citizens from their murals, although none are encountered during the mission, possibly referencing engineer murals on LV-223. What exactly are Xeno Titans? During their journey, the players discover a containment area holding Xeno Titan Xenomorphs. As they navigate the area, another Marlo synth teases them, joking that the eggs are hatching, only to admit they're safe because the eggs weren't designed for them. This raises the question, who created these Xenomorphs? The ancient citizens, a queen-stage Xeno Titan, or perhaps another unknown process? And just who were these massive Xenomorphs made for? Their size suggests they were designed for other ancient citizens, the largest known aliens. The Titans are colossal, towering over even the queen at around 22 feet tall. Originally, the Titan had a skull similar to the drones, but this was eventually replaced with a crest resembling the ornate crowns of the Praetorians and Queens. The early version of the Titan had no real legs, instead possessing small tentacles where legs would be. These tentacles may be a nod to the worm's appendages, or vomit monster as it's sometimes called. The skeleton-like design of the worm also mirrors the Titan's skeletal structure, particularly at its base and tail. There has long been speculation that the space jockey might be legless, with some fans theorizing that the jockey was biomechanically fused to its seat, possibly even growing out of it. The Titan's distinctive sloth-like claws are designed for climbing and digging nests into the hard biomechanical environment, while its extended tongue and clawed appendage might be a subtle nod to H.R. Giger's unused design for the alien runner in Alien 3. When the unsuspecting team awakens a Xeno Titan, it strikes from the shadows, crushing and impaling one of the soldiers with its powerful jaws. Fully risen, the Titan is unfazed by pulse rifle fire, swatting Marines away like insects. Despite having only small claws for legs, the Titan is surprisingly mobile, dragging itself with its arms and smashing through parts of the city to keep up with the fleeing group. At one point, it cuts them off by taking a shortcut through a lower level. Jonas Harper uses his psychic abilities, possibly combined with his daughter's, to force the Titan's jaws to clamp shut, causing it to recoil in pain and allowing the team to escape. However, this effort cost Harper his life, and the Titan is only momentarily stunned. The fate of the Xeno Titan is left uncertain, though it was likely destroyed when the site was bombarded with nuclear weapons to contain the outbreak. According to the Codex on the Xeno Titan, the city eventually succumbed to a xenomorph infestation, with the aliens adapting to the ancient citizens' formidable morphology. Some speculate that the ancient citizens originally bred the xenomorphs on Lethe, or that their moon fell victim to a rival species leading to the outbreak. It's possible the ancient citizens discovered xenomorph ovomorphs during their travels and brought them back for study, triggering the infestation. So yeah, that was all in this one, but if you like the franchise, do stick around with us because we have loads of alien content lined up. If you liked our content, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to us if you haven't already. Have a good one and be safe. Thanks everyone.